Hi guys, Maikeru here. This is my double XP weekend gains for my main. On my main account I got over 145 million experience gains, which I'll show you in this video and I'll talk about it at the end in depth. I spent 55 hours on double XP this weekend, so it's safe to say I missed quite a lot of sleep, but all in all it was worth it because of the amount of experience that was gained. I gained over 10% of my whole account's experience in just this one weekend. I guess all the preparation that I did definitely paid off in the end. The first thing I did was try and activate my Wisdom of Scarabus, which is my 10% XP buff for an hour with my Premier Club aura, just to find out it wasn't allowed. So that was kinda disappointing, and I must have missed Jagex saying that. I thought the 10% would be allowed because it's not game breaking, but I guess they toggled that off. So I started double XP weekend off with some broad arrows with my Silverhawk boots while I did a farm run on my ult, starting to get some of those fletching gains with a bit of bonus XP I had saved up. Once I had done my farm run on my ult, I made sure to do it on my main as soon as possible, running around on my main doing my tree run as I normally would, as fast as possible. Using the quick teleports on your home ports is really useful with farm runs as well. Making sure to use your spirit tree teleport to get around to the tree gnome village and the tree gnome stronghold, etc. as well. And of course things like the quiver and the juju spirit teleport bag, all of those things really help farm runs. So after I finished my farm run, it was then Amlod hour, which means right at the start of double XP weekend, the second hour was Amlod hour. Time for some crazy summoning gains. Having a bank deposit box is a godsend during Amlod hour on double XP weekend, as I can make 50 pouches a time with my pack yak. There's no point in taking the extra 5 from your pack yak, as you actually waste time taking them and making another one instead of just running straight away. You're actually going to do less pouches an hour by spending extra time doing that extra 5 compared to just spending the extra time running back with a new inventory. So just do the 2 inventories every time to do 50 pouches, and then you'll end up being able to use 5 to 6,000 charms in an hour pretty easily. And within the first Amlod hour I got to 50 million summoning, using up some of my blue charms and using as many spirit gems as I could to save me as many blue charms as possible. The first Amlod hour literally gave me 13 million experience. Then the plan was to do fletching whenever I'm doing a semi-AFK thing on the ult, and whenever I wasn't doing a semi-AFK thing on the ult, I'd use up my dummies. So I used up my thieving dummies first, and they gave me some insane amounts of experience. Dummies on double XP weekend are just so amazing. If you ever get any skill in dummies, definitely save them for double XP weekend. You will not regret it. I got it! Oh. Yay! Skill in pets, let's get flow, let's call it. Hello, Mr. Flowy boy. Woo! I just kept going and going on all of the Amlod hours during the first day. Typically you'd find an Amlod hour within around 3 to 4 hours from the previous one, as it can't be Amlod again for 2 hours anyway. Then you have a 50% chance for it to be Amlod after that. So on the third hour you have a 50% chance, and normally if it doesn't land on it the first time, it will land on it the second time, which will be the 4th hour of waiting since the last one. I just did every single Amlod hour. I'd done Amlod because I just wanted the extra experience from my charms. As I didn't quite have enough charms and spirit gems to get me to 120 summoning, I wanted to get the most out of them and get me as close as possible. But from the blue charms and all of the spirit gems, I got around 27 million summoning experience before I moved on to my crimsons. Once I moved on to my crimsons, they gave me the rest of the experience that I gained this weekend, but I had way more crimsons than I did blue, so I'm glad I was able to use up most of my gems just saving blue charms, as it gave me so many extra blue charms to use up on Amlod hours. But the Amlod hours were definitely the MVP from this weekend, as they gave me 40% extra experience every hour, as the Amlod 20% doubles on double XP weekend. Then of course it was back to fletching and doing my dummies depending on what I was doing on the other account. I found that the hunter and thieving dummies gave the most experience per dummy. They gave some crazy amounts of experience, especially the hunter one when you could use the hunter outfit and the Yatui stick for even more experience. But my favourite by far was the agility dummy, just because agility is really slow to train in general, and any extra experience in agility for me is a bonus, as I think it's the best 120 cape in the game and I really want that as my end game goal. So the agility dummies actually gave the worst amount of experience per dummy out of all of them, but they were still my favourite. Then it was time for another Amlodale, which got me to 118 summoning, so I was pretty close to 120 but nearly out of charms. And you guessed it, it was back to fletching for 50 million fletching experience, near enough halfway to 120 at this point. And I started on just over 20 million experience, so far so good on the fletching front. I would just keep showing you my summoning and my fletching gains, but because that's mostly all I did during the double XP weekend, it will get really boring if I just constantly showed you these two different skills, me going to an Amlodale, me going to do some fletching, etc. So instead I'm just going to talk about all of my XP gains as a whole at the end, and just show you some of these little clips and not all of them. Otherwise the video will be long, boring and quite dull. And I'd rather you guys enjoy the video than me drag it out for too long. And all I did for the rest of the double experience weekend, after I got 80 million fletching and used all of my charms, I just kind of wanted to chill on this one because I was superheating and things on the other account. So that was really click intensive and it's easier just to have an AFK thing to do on here. I just used up a ton of my protein dragon hides while sorting things out on the other account, as I'd used up all my dummies and things like that as well. After double XP weekend ended on the Monday, when I got home from work, I just chilled on the Ark with a bit of divination, continuing to go for Willow that I'd been trying for a very long time. I got Willow! Take a minute to just bask in the Willowness. Ah. That's the longest bet I've ever had. It took 185 hours of my life. Oh. That is my 10th pet. Yeah, boy. Yeah. The Discord was absolutely rammed and so much fun the whole weekend, especially at the start where there was just a bundle of people. Thank you to everyone who joined in with the Discord activities while getting gains, and it was just making the whole experience so much better for me and everyone in there. Everyone just having a laugh, enjoying themselves was great. You guys literally make my gaming experience so much better. Just being able to talk to you lot on Discord every day while grinding the Runescape gains or doing things for videos or things like that. You definitely make it so much better, so I thank you all for joining in and having a good time on Discord and in the clan in general. As for Goblin Slayers as a clan, our double XP weekend went really well. In total, the clan gained over 1.8 billion experience just over the weekend, and we only have 220 members. So for the amount of members we have, we got a ton of gains, which is always nice to see. I don't expect us to be number one, but seeing us get this much gains and seeing so many people online, over 100 people online at one point in the clan all at the same time, just really makes my day. As you can see, I was top on the clan gains because I didn't sleep much. I was also closely followed by Jack and Glad to Be Sad, put in such a huge amount of effort and he got maxed the next day. So shout out to Glad for being an absolute trooper. And well done to everyone else on the leaderboard for the clan. Was really fun getting gains alongside you guys. Now just for the breakdown of my gains over the weekend. I'm nearly at 1.4 billion total experience now, and I gained 146.7 million experience just over the weekend. I gained a tiny bit of experience in cooking, and to be honest I have no idea when I done that. I can't remember doing that, but I think I cooked some rocktails at one point just to AFK, so I gained 231k in that for some reason. Fletching was a big one. I gained 56.9 million experience in fletching, and now I have 80 million total experience in fletching, which means I'm 24 mil away from 120. I'll probably just keep the materials for the broad arrows and do them next double XP weekend and just finish that off and finish off my summoning while doing another skill like crafting or herb lore or something like that. The next thing I gained quite a lot of XP in was crafting. My protein hides gave me 10 million experience and I didn't quite use them all either, so that's really awesome to see. My favourite amount of gains this weekend wasn't the most amount of gains, and that was in agility. I gained 15.5 million experience in agility alone. 15.5 mil isn't much compared to 56, but in agility it's absolutely tons and tons of experience. I done Silverhawk feathers the whole weekend alongside some dummies, and whenever I had my pulse cores that I had saved up, I made everything toggled off except for agility. So every time a Silverhawk feather procced, I got so much experience because I was getting bonus experience, double XP weekend experience, base experience and pulse score experience alongside the 10% pulse score buff that was always running. So over the weekend in agility, that was my favourite amount of gains, and I'm really pleased that I'm halfway to 120. Can't wait to get that cape one day. I got 6.3 million experience in thieving just from my thieving dummies, 1.3 million slayer also just from the slayer dummies, 2.3 million farming just from a couple of farm runs, so that's always really useful as 120 farming is also a really awesome one. 3.4 million experience in hunter, which took me under 1,000th in the world in a hunter, so I'm really pleased with that, and that was from my dummies. Lastly but not least, 50 million experience in summoning with the amount of charms I had. I wish I could have got 120 this weekend, but I just literally had not got enough charms or spirit gems to last me that long. Using the Amlord hour definitely got me more experience out of each charm, but not quite enough to get me 120. So I'll finish off my fletching and summoning next double XP weekend and then focus on another skill and try and get 3 120s during next double XP. Really pleased with the double XP weekend gains on this account. Like I said, it's over 10% of my total experience on this account just over a weekend. I went really hard, put 55 hours in. Would have put more if I didn't have work on the Monday, but hey ho, such is life. I hope your double XP weekend gains were good as well. Let me know in the comment section below what you got during your double XP weekend and what goals you managed to hit. It'll be really cool hearing from you guys what you got and how you felt about your gains, how many hours you put in, things like that are really cool to just find out and see what you guys did during that weekend. Thanks for watching everyone, hope you enjoyed this video, give it a like if you did, and subscribe for future content like this and many other guides and things like that. Feel free to join my friends chat Maikeru in game if you fancy a chat. You can join Goblin Slayers, which is my clan. It's open to everyone and anyone, so feel free to ask for an invite in the clan or in the friends chat or PM me, and you would be more than welcome to join in with the festivities. The Discord is in the description as well. If you fancy chatting on voice communication to me or anyone else in there, feel free to do that. And until next time, see ya, wave 'em goodbye, Eggy.